Hey folks, welcome to week 12. This week's a bit of a light week after the heavy one you had last week, finishing up the literature review. So, what we'll be doing is be introducing the next or the final assignment of the semester, the rhetorical analysis essay, your final big major assignment. And what you'll be doing is just an individual activity in which we begin the process of analyzing rhetorical situations. Now, to start off the week, I've got you reading a couple of things. One is to review the guidelines for the rhetorical analysis essay. One is I want you to look at an excerpt from Lunsford et al., in which they talk about rhetorical situations. Now, you'll remember several weeks ago we talked about the rhetorical stance, and I presented these ideas concerning the rhetorical situation, which contains basically four different elements. You have the speaker, the person who is offering who is giving the message, and then we have the subject or the message, and of course the audience and the context. Now, all of these things work together to form what we call the rhetorical situation, and you can use these different elements to analyze texts and the way that texts are functioning. You can do this with a variety of texts: written text, visual texts, audio visual text, and just audio text. So um, a range of constructed artifacts that you can use these rhetorical ideas and strategies to consider. And as you're doing that, you can also look at ethical appeals, logical appeals, pathetic appeals, the emotional appeals, and to consider how all of these things are functioning together in any given text. Now, that's how you can use the aspects of the rhetorical situation to look at any constructed artifact of human culture. So that's what you'll be doing for the rhetorical analysis. And Lunsford et al., they present some specific aspects of the rhetorical situation that you will be using in the rhetorical analysis. Now, I just want to look really quickly at this analysis and what it suggests. Just give a brief background of what rhetoric is and what you'll be asked to do for the assignment. And the assignment details: the purpose is to help you better understand how rhetorical situations affect the ways in which authors craft their arguments with an eye toward their audience, purpose, stance, context, and medium/design. Now, these are the main aspects of the rhetorical situation that you'll be focusing on in this assignment. And it should be 5 to 6 pages long, 11 to 12 point professional font. And you can look at the other aspects here of the assignment, but I just wanted to point out those main things because these are the aspects that I'd like you to be focusing on. Now, what you'll be doing for this assignment is, again, taking this text and you're making an argument about how the text functions, about what you see the text doing in terms of these different aspects of audience, who's the audience, how might this text affect different audiences, who is the ideal audience, etc. What's the purpose of this text? What stance is the author or the creator taking? What's the broader context in which this is taking place? What's the genre, and how does it affect the way that the writer, the creator, has made this thing, and what's the medium and design? And we'll get more into those details as you read through Lunsford et al. And as we have some discussions here. But for this week, what I want you to do is you will take those different aspects of the rhetorical situation, and I want you to complete this assignment, in which you make a list of all the writing you remember doing in the last week, yada yada, and then you'll choose 2 examples that strike you as quite different from one another and analyze the rhetorical situation you faced for each one. And I want you to call upon these 6 aspects of the rhetorical situation as presented in Lunsford et al. Now, for each example, you should write at least 300 words, so that's total around 600 words you'll be writing for this week. Now, by each example, I don't mean each aspect of the rhetorical situation. You don't have to write 300 words for purpose, 300 words for audience, 300 words for stance, and so on. You only need to write for each example 300 words across all of these different aspects. But I want you to address each of these for each example that you offer, up to 300 words. And hopefully that will make sense. Complete it all, put it together in one WordPress process document, and submit it here in this submission window. And that is your participation activity for the week. Since we've got a holiday midweek and you did some heavy lifting last week, thought I'd make it a little easier on you, hopefully this week. If you've got questions about anything, please feel free to let me know. My inbox is always open.